Hello, everyone. This is my out-of-theater reaction for Beetlejuice Beetlejuice. You dare not say it a third time. And I'll say at the top, I am a Beetlejuice fan. It had been a number of years since I saw the original film, but I recently watched it with my friends in community, and I ended up falling in love with it all over again. I mean, one, you have, Burton in his prime. His aesthetics and sensibilities felt really fresh, the macabre and, gothic architecture, all the spirals, all the twirls and everything. But it's also bolstered by just a great cast of characters. Of course, Michael Keaton's Beetlejuice, and despite only having less than 20 minutes of screen time, makes the most of it, always at an 11. But then he's bolstered by a really good supporting cast of characters too, from Gene Davis to Alec Baldwin, to Catherine O'Hara, to Winona Ryder. It's a great movie. It's classic. And going into this film, I think people are they want this to be either as good, if not better, than the original. And the question is it as good or better? And the answer is no. I don't think it's better, nor do I think it's as good. However, that's not to say that it's a bad movie. I actually think it is a good movie, but flawed. I mean, first of all, Michael Keaton, Return as Beetlejuice, despite taking place 35 plus years later, 36 years later, he doesn't miss a step. He feels like the exact same character. Sure, he looks a little older, but he brings the same amount of energy and enthusiasm and crudeness and rudeness back to Beetlejuice. And anytime he's on screen, the movie is firing on all cylinders. He's such a fun character, and Keaton is giving a wonderful performance. I can see why he was excited about this film, because again, he is on in this movie, and he's hyper, not in an annoying way though. Not. I mean, he's rude and crude, as Beetlejuice often is. But there's never a moment where I became annoyed by the character. I liked all of his mischievousness and his antics throughout the film. But when it comes to the rest of the film, I think you also have some great supporting performances as well. Winona Ryder returning as an older Lydia Deetz, who now has her own talk show, and is actually profiting on the fact that she can communicate with the dead. But that's kind of put her relationship with her daughter, played by Jenna Ortega, of course, is coming off of Wednesday, and she already has that kind of relationship established with Burton. That their relationship is kind of on the rocks. It's not doing very well. There's a divide between them, and I think other than the Beetlejuice of it all, that storyline, them trying to reunite with each other, them trying to deal with their relationship issues, that's the heart of the movie. That's where I think the movie is strongest. And a lot of what brings the family together is a tragic event, and it's how they deal with Jeffrey Jones's character of Charles Deetz. And I was wondering how they're going to handle him, since he can't come back to the film for a variety of reasons. But what they end up doing with his character, I found very amusing, and how they bring it up throughout the course of the movie is pretty goddamn funny in my book. Now, I think the rest of the cast, they do a good job for what they're given. Catherine O'Hara, I think, is fun. She gets a lot more to do, certainly when it comes to more of the supernatural stuff. And you have a lot of characters in this film, and they come across all the various creatures of the underworld, whatever that's it's called in this specific movie. And it's fun seeing their reactions and things. But I have to say, the biggest problem that this movie has when it comes to its story and its characters, it's too much going on. It's way too much going on. Some of these stories, honestly, they could just be completely cut out of the movie, and you would still pretty much have 99% of the ending that we do. It's just that some of these people are just not really necessary. And listen, you guys know I'm a huge Willem Dafoe fan. In this, he plays kind of like a wannabe detective who was a former B-movie actor, and he's trying to find Beetlejuice, and this brings him into a meeting Beetlejuice's ex-wife, played by Monica Bellucci in this film, Tim Burton's, I believe, current wife and or girlfriend. She's another character where it's kind of cool to me, the ex-wife Beetlejuice, and they go into that storyline. You can cut all that out, and we'd still arrive at the same exact ending that we do. Even I mean, honestly, even how they wrap up some of those plot lines is all right, let's just move on. We can, it's not really important. It's kind of done away with in a very kind of comedic, hand wavy fashion in the film. And I thought, well, what's even the point of all that? So that that kind of bothered me to a certain extent. Not enough to like ruin the movie or anything like that, but it just felt unnecessary. So it's like I want to get back to the kind of the better storylines here, which again have everything to do with Michael Keaton's Beetlejuice and everything to do with Winona Ryder as Lydia and Jenna Ortega as her daughter Astra. That's why I think the movie is at its best. And there's like some other like little script issues. They mention Alec Baldwin and Gina Javis's characters from the original film, and I thought they would handle that I don't know, in a better way, instead of just like, again, kind of like all right, well that was dealt with, that we've kind of moved on from all that. And it's like, I know you can't get everybody back for the movie, but it's like I wanted something a little bit better, a little more wholesome, because they were very much the heart of the original Beetlejuice. It's like I thought that would have been more interesting than some of the subplots that we got in the film. But other than the characters and the plot lines and things, the other thing I really like about this movie that really worked for me is its aesthetics. We have a lot of sets, a lot of practical effects, a lot of stop motion and claymation. Like it really does a great job. This film and Tim Burton do a great job of bringing it back to the aesthetics of the original film. And yes, they use some modern technology in the movie as well. It's kind of smooth out the rough edges, if you will. But it still looks pretty goddamn good. The costuming is gorgeous. The makeup across the board is really cool and imaginative. Great use of animatronics and puppets and things. Like all that is grotesquely beautiful, as I like to describe something that's scary or very creepy, but still just so wonderfully realized. So yeah, just to wrap up my final thoughts, I feel like this is a good sequel, not as great as the original film. It doesn't outdo it either, obviously, but Michael Keaton, he's amazing as Beetlejuice. Even though he's 35 years older, he has not lost that energy or that enthusiasm for this role. Winona Ryder is great as an older Lydia Deetz. Jenna Ortega, as she often is in many things, she's one of the the big rising stars right now. She does a great job in the movie too, and then some of the other supporting characters I think do a good job too for what they're given, like Catherine O'Hara and stuff. And I really ended up really liking what they did with Charles. I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, and some other characters which I wish they could have been taken out of the movie completely, or just, I don't know, have them do something different, or have them more integral to the plots of the more important characters. I think that would have been great with Monica Bellucci and Willem Dafoe, which I'm sad to say. And of course, the aesthetics of the film are gorgeous. So yeah, I ended up walking away from this movie liking it a lot, thinking it's very good. Not great. I didn't fall in love with it, but I think a lot of people will really love this movie and will appreciate a lot of what it's doing. But that's my overall thoughts, my out of theater reaction for Beetlejuice. What about you guys? What did you think of the movie? I'll be doing my full review shortly, but be sure to comment below, and I'll see you next time.